Welcome everybody to Artistic Digitizer version 1.7 and V2. We're covering custom hoops and both of our versions have custom hoops in them. So let me get the camera on and say a proper hello. Here we go. There we are. Hi, everyone. So welcome. I'm Anne Hein, Embroidery Software Specialist for Janome America. And today we're going to talk about custom hoops. And in our software, we can create a hoop. And I think a lot of times this might pertain to our multi-needle machines because there's a wide variety of those hoops out there. So you can create a custom hoop for that. Most of our home machines, they come with their package of hoops, and there aren't that many. I don't know if there's some aftermarket ones, but they're actually, I'll explain that in just a moment when we get to that. But before you even start talking about custom hoops, I want everyone to understand about their hoops. And I can really talk about Janome hoops. So if you're with another brand, please, take a look at your hoops and see if any of this information makes sense to you. But in the Janome hoops, we have our hoops and we have the grid that's in there. And we do have, you'll notice that space out here. Now, someone told me, one day I went round and round with someone like, I have all this space, but I got to be able to use it. Well, the spot in here is the actual size of your hoop. Your hoop says 5.5 by 7.9. So this is 5.5 inches wide by 7.9. It's not 8, it's 7.9. So if you have a design that's outside those limits, you'll need to pick the next size up hoop for yours. Now, I have a CM17, and it's a very smart machine because it has this in it. If I had a design that was bigger than this hoop, and I stuck this, I put this hoop in there, it would say that hoop won't work. And then it would show, it would, it would show the other, the proper hoop that would fit, or a larger hoop that would fit. If I brought up a design that was supposed to fit in this hoop, okay, my RE20, and I grabbed my 10 by 10 hoop or whatever and stuck that in instead because I'm going to use it, my machine on a CM17 will move automatically to the larger hoop for me. I don't have to adjust it. So as embroiderers, we do need to watch a few things on the screens of our machines. Yes, we can plug our hoops in, we can push go, but before you push go, I always tell people, take a look at that screen. Because on that screen is all that information you need to know. It's showing you what foot you should have on because people have forgotten and not had the right foot on. It shows what hoop you should have on because you don't want to put on a hoop and that has a large design in it that's going to hit the side of your hoop because that could misalign your machine. That could cause a lot of damage. So you don't want to have that happen. Your foot could come down on the top of the hoop itself and cause some problem going upwards on there. So you want to be careful about that. Always look on the screen to make sure. Because sometimes I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to use this hoop and I get it ready to go. And I look on the screen, I'm like, oh no, I really need I need my the SQ28 hoop for that. So I have to, kind of rehoop and figure out what I'm doing, or maybe change my design or something like that. So you really have to take a look. The other hoop I noticed too that has the not quite, I'm going to grab my little paper here so you can see it. This one doesn't have an even amount. If anyone uses this for their edge-to-edge quilting, you'll notice on one side, over on this side, you have more open space. Now, a lot of that space is, on all of our hoops, is a little bit of a safety area, and it's for those times when you may have an applique and there's an applique frame out, and your hoop, your machine will move a little bit. That gives that extra space for that kind of thing. So you have space all the way around. And that way you can stitch right up to your 5.5. You can put your pieces right up to the edge of this and you're okay. When if you're outside of that, it'll tell you. And it won't, especially if you're an Artistic Digitizer, your screen turns pink. So you're outside your hoop bounds on that part of it. And so when I first started using software, a couple of times I would play with custom hoops just because I wanted to make a design that was a certain size. And I thought, I could do a custom hoop. Maybe I use that that shape all the time, but I found a better way to do that. I'm going to show you a little bit further in. Now, one of the hoops that's out on the market for Janome machines, some of the other brands, are the dime snap hoop monsters. They have a sticky hoop as well. Now, I know for Janome, you can see the size over here in the purple. This is my RE20D hoop. It's the same size as that hoop. And they do make one for the 46. So it's not a different, and it has the connector. So when you snap it in, it's going to read as RE20D or the RE46 if you're using that one. So you don't need a custom hoop for that. The thing I do like to check is when I use that hoop, I like to make sure, I like to figure out where the center is and see if my machine is centering on that, because my designs with Janome are always based off a center. That's why we have grids with center marks on them. That's why when I'm working in my software, I'll print out a template like I showed in 2 other videos where I did design placement and multi-hooping. Take a look at those. I show how to work with a paper template and the grid. With the CM17, the 15,000, and the S9, we also have AccuSetter for design placement, so you can use that as well. I love that part of it. All right, I'm going to open the software and show you where the custom hoops is, so you can be aware of that if you need to use it. And let me get my software up here. Let's see, here we go. All right, and do one more thing. There we go. So when you open your software, these are the different ways to get into your software. These are things you've worked on recently. And then what's not showing on mine, because it's over here where this little triangle is, are the videos. And they're all populated right now because I am on the internet, and I've been on the internet for a while, so they're all up. If you're just starting your software, they take a little bit to ramp up. You can expand them here, and I definitely suggest you check them out. There's a lot of good topics in there, and they're all, almost all of them are under 5 minutes, so they take hardly any time to look at. All right, so first things first, I want us to go up under help, and sometimes on my recording you can see the words that are up here, sometimes you can't, but it's help right at the top here, and then help topics. Now, when you come into help topics, it might be closed. So there's these little arrows here. If you go like that, it'll open up the search area. And so there's 3 ways to search. You can search with a list of topics like in a manual there, and then, or you can put in for an index, or you can use a search word. And I used a search word, and I put in custom hoops. Sometimes that's the hard part, is trying to figure out what the word is. I understand. I have that a lot. Here's custom hoops right here. And when I open it, it opens over here. And it gives you some information on where, it'll, how to work with the little item here, the box of creating it, what all those mean. And then at the bottom here, let me go to the top. When you first enter it, what it looks like, and then how you add the information and so forth, and then where the hoops are stored. So I'm going to show you all of that. I'm going to close this window here. Let me think. Yep. And so the difference in between, I'm on a Mac today. So to find where that is, on a Mac, I would go up under Artistic and Preferences, and then it would open this window here. Now, if I was on my PC, I would have to, I'm going to close this for just a moment. If I was on my PC, I would go to the work page, and I would find tools up here. And when I clicked on tools, there'd be tool options. And then once I do that, I get the same window as a Mac person over here. So for a PC, you're going to make sure you're on a work page. You're going to go to tools and then tool options, and this window will open up. There's a lot of good information in here, and I've done different videos on different things. Before we get to custom hoops right here, I want to talk a little bit about palette order. With our V2, we have a new color system. We don't have the color list over in properties. We're using the used colors in the bottom left-hand side and the color manager. But this has stayed the same. And when you update to V2, you might have to redo this. So that's why I wanted to show that. If you haven't come in here, you can click on all the ones that you that are your favorite brands, okay? You can pick one as your default. That'll be your top of your list and be your default. And then you can also left click on these and reorder them. And then when I go to my color manager, all the blue ones will be listed there. I don't have to have all of these colors showing up. All my favorites can be near the top on there. And then we go to the next one over is custom hoops. And here's that first window that opens up. And I'm going to do add. And up here, I can name my hoop. And you do want to name your hoop, or the create does not illuminate, so you can send it on. I can't talk and type for some reason. And special hoop. And then here you pick your company. So if you're a different company, you come down in here, all the way down. We have some multi-head machines here, all kinds of different machines. So if you find your machine in there. Now, sometimes like Brother and Baby Lock, Janome and Elna, Janome Elna are the same. Brother, Baby Lock share some of the same things. So if you don't find your hoop under your company, you might want to look under the other one and see if there's something there. You can pick rectangular, circular, and then you can put in your stitch area. So I am going to put in my stitch area. I'm going to put it 6.0, and you do want to add the little part at the end there, the O. There we go. So you get the perfect 6x8, and then you can hit create. And then see how it created this? It's not letting me go fully over into a, here it is on the width. It's giving me the width okay, but it's very close over here. So once I say okay, so you can put your hoops in, click okay, and then the next time you open your software, that things will be applied. So I'm actually going to close my software, and then I have to open up my, there we go, open up my software again, and I'm going to come in here to create new, and I'm going to go and change my hoop. I'm going to come up here in my CM17 and change, and I only have one option here right now because I have nothing on my work page. So I'm going to go to change, and right here you can see my special hoop. There it is. And let's measure it and see. It's even got my name down at the bottom. If I come up here to measure and I go across here, it's just, it's just right on the edge. It's a little bit more than 5.5. And this is going to be, almost 8, a little bit, just about 8 right there. And if I brought in another hoop, if I went down here just to show you, I'm just going to add a hoop here, just this one, so you can see, and then I'll pull this hoop to the side. So, and I can't quite align, there we go. You can see one is a little bit longer than the other. So you can make, I could make another, it's for Janome, I don't have an optional hoop. I don't really need to make a custom hoop. But if you have a hoop that came out for your machine that they don't have in your machine list, that's where you would make your custom hoops on there. And then if you were working in multi-hooping and you wanted to delete a hoop or select maybe I want to delete that one out of here today, or this one, I would just click on these icons over here. You can see that the hoop gets highlighted, the one I click on, and then I can click the X and it'll take that one away, and then I can close this part of it. So that's basically how you would go and create your custom hoop, and then also how you would find it. It actually puts it right there with your machine until you delete that hoop I deleted it from the screen here, but I did not delete it from the list. It'll still be in my list. Now, let's say I mentioned earlier about how I would make custom hoops and to use them as my design space. And one of the things you can do is you can go into your guidelines down here and you get a work area tab right here. So if you open that work area, you can create a rectangular work area, a circular or a polygonal one with sides and height and angles, all of that. You can be very creative. If I wanted to work within a circle that was, let's see, 15 inches by 15, you can even do an oval like that, and I click OK. There is my workspace. And it does have my hoop in there. So if I go up under view and I go to hoop, I can turn off the gray part. It still keeps this part of it. If I wanted to work without that thing in there, I could create my space over here. Another way to create a workspace is to go under shapes, and you can use a rectangle if you wanted, like that, and then right click on it, and down here it says use shape as work area, and now I'm going to use that one. If I do undo, it'll bring that back, so I don't really want it. So you can actually create your own shape and use that, or you can use one within the work area as well. And so once that's selected, I can delete that. And this is nice to work within. If I was going to do a layout, maybe this is my tablecloth, and I was going to do a layout of designs. I'm going to just go see what's on my, let's see. Let's try this one. I don't know if it's going to be too big. I'm just going to open it over here. Oh, it's not too big. Okay, let me copy it and bring it over here. All right, so let's say I was going to do a layout of these, and I want to copy paste them and put them around here. I would probably use my array tool to get my layout, but this is how you would work with your work area if you want to keep that as your work area. And then under your guidelines, if you needed guidelines, once you click here, if you kind of click and drag, you get your guidelines. And if you put your little hand cursor on there, you can move it around, and then you can rotate it to have them any way you want. And if you want to delete them, when it's highlighted, hit delete and delete to get rid of it. Now in your work area, this is your position of your piece. So if you wanted it to be 15 inches over to one side, but still, and 15 inches sort of centered with your hoop, it put my work area over here. So now you can't click on these you can click when they're highlighted, you can click and move them around too. So if you want to work with it outside your the grid area, you can do that and just get your layout going. And then once you have your layout, you could do your multi-hooping from there. So a lot of creative tools to be working with today. We covered, let me get the camera back on here. And if you have questions, please post them in the comments. I can't always see the questions coming through. So today we did cover how to create a custom hoop, and a little information on your own hoops, and also some of these aftermarket hoops that we have, how those work with your machine. Then we went into our into the tool options there, and I showed you a little bit about the palette, and also about using the guides and creating a work area there, and how you can change the size of your work area. I've been finding that work area very, very helpful, especially if you have something, you could do a complete layout. You could lay out a whole quilt that way as well. If you, you could put in the dimensions of your quilt, and it's going to be on the screen. You'd have to zoom it down so it's little, but you'd have an idea of multiplying designs across it and down, what it would look like in that space. So it's kind of a handy thing to know on that part of it. All right. So please join me again. I think I've covered everything. Again, as the comments, post them below. I'll come back and answer all of those. Thank you for joining me today. It's been really nice. And I look forward to seeing you again as we cover more fun on our V2 or V1.7 with Artistic Digitizer. Bye for now.